All right, so go ahead and enter. And we're going to play the pitch presentation for the Jazz Bugs now.
According to multiple sources, literacy levels have been decreasing in BC with many students having insufficient reading levels. Why don't students read in the first place? From our observations and interviews, students aren't motivated to read because, number one, it's boring, so they'd rather use AI and cheat, because cheating is fun and AI is easy, so they'd rather do that instead of reading. Second of all, it's for nerds. Thirdly, friends and hobbies don't align. Fourthly, it's less appealing compared to games and YouTube. Unlike reading, games and YouTube is instant gratification, our best friend. So, how can we make reading more appealing for students? The answer is our app, Lit Reading. We make reading exciting for middle to high school students through gamification and community.
Today, we are logging in as Matthew. Just only a few months ago, Matthew didn't like to read. But ever since his teacher started making everyone in class use it, he has started to use the app more regularly as well. Lit Reading helps students to avoid procrastination by making it easy to jump back into work, as you can see here. And it also presents them with actionable quests. This quest is due soon, so let's complete it now. Lit Reading takes Matthew to the required reading with speed and ease. There are also several features that make the experience seamless, which include quick scrolling through pages and an in-app dictionary. For now, Matthew's all done with the reading and he gets a small notification that he's finished the required amount. Matthew ends his reading session, and as you can see, he's been reading for 32 days in a row. After this, he can then see his reading stats, leaderboard status, and just overall progress. Finally, the words he searched up are logged, and Matthew can take a bonus quiz to expand his vocabulary if he wants to. But for now, he decides to skip it today as he can review them another time from the dashboard. The results of quizzes are sent to the teacher for assessment, and to prevent cheating, we don't allow students to exit out of the app. Matthew is competitive, so he decides to check the leaderboard where he can check his class and school leaderboard. But currently, Matthew also has another motivation, the group milestones. Matthew has his eyes set on that field trip, so he'll have to tell his friends to do the reading too. Using the gems he's accumulated, Matthew can redeem customizations and prizes. Good idea, Matthew. This is a good profile picture for you. Earlier in class, Matthew's friends all decided to pool their gems together for the collective prize. So, Matthew also decides to put in his share to help. Matthew decides he wants to go back to the leaderboard to check his progress. Uh-oh. Upon returning back, it seems like Ariana overtook his position on the leaderboard again. Matthew is not going to let that slide. Matthew's going to go back to reading. Matthew browses through the hundreds of books using the in-app library and also filtering based on his interests. Matthew is ready to start his next story.
Our team focused on literacy as we felt this issue close to us and saw its potential for impact. Drawing from our own experiences, we have directly observed many methods teachers tried motivating students. We highlighted the ones that worked and why. We especially liked free rice. For each question answered, rice is donated to people in need. However, the point of attraction for students is the leaderboard, allowing classes to compete with other classes. This made the game highly addicting, and personally, I've spent hours on the game answering questions just so I could flex on the other class. The spirit is also similar to canned food drives at school, where one class can compete with the other class to see who can donate more.
Lit Reading will light up your class's reading experiences. Read, compete, and collaborate. Sign up today.
All right, good stuff. The Jazz Bugs. Well, we're missing one of your members, right? DJ, I think he's away. But yeah, okay. First question comes from Judge Kelvin. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Okay, thanks, Adele. This is a really novel idea. I really like it. I wonder what kind of approach the team took for that quiz generation feature that you had. Like, did you use any large language models, and which ones and why?
I can start with this one. So we were initially thinking since we could use AI, especially because it's a digital solution, we could, for instance, use AI to generate questions for the user based on the chapter since it's already like text-based. Yeah.
So which AI did you use? Was it based on a certain language model?
Perhaps
Um,
we could just use something basic like ChatGPT. I don't
Ah,
I don't think our source of income will be from the teachers since they have like their own kind of budget for it. So we will have a decent source of income and we can use that maybe for a ChatGPT API or something. I don't know.
and
We'll figure it out. It's just, you know.
yeah, and to add on to that, we're also thinking of not only like just using AI straight, but also getting like making the teacher use it as well. So instead of like the AI generating all the questions, the AI would generate some of it. The teacher can add their own customizations to it or check the answers because sometimes ChatGPT can be unreliable. So
right. That's great. Thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you, Calvin. Let's bring in the whole judging panel now. Any follow-up questions from the other judges?
Great app, and I love all your animations and all the colors you put in on there. I'm wondering what was your what did you find the motivation was for increasing low literacy rate in your research?
Well, hard to answer that. In spirit, like, are you talking about like why it's like a problem right now?
Yeah, so you kind of talked about like low literacy as a problem. How did you come up with like to create a more of like a gamified application for that?
uh,
How did you choose a solution?
yeah, so there's like a few things that we looked into. So we first looked into like why they weren't doing it in the first place, why they weren't or interested in reading. And first, like since all their friends don't really read, they all play games instead. It kind of creates a culture where like, oh, let's just go play outside or like go play games or something instead of reading. So we wanted to make sure that everyone's kind of in the environment where they're forced to read, maybe by their teacher, and that can be like a start to more healthier reading habits. And besides that, we wanted to make sure it's like also fun and not like a boring school assignment. We wanted to make sure that they had incentives, which is similar to like food drives that happen at schools. They're really like popular. They get a lot of hype. So yeah, we were just hoping to capture like that school's spirit.
Awesome, great. Any more questions from the judging panel?
How do you plan to balance between having it being addictive gaming and having them reading at the same time? What are some plans for doing that?
Well, I've realized with other apps, particularly, you I could think of some right off the bat, like Free Rice, right, as we mentioned. We also Prodigy, if you heard of it, is kind of my school used a really weird one called Dreamscape. It's basically Clash of Clans plus questions to skip the time. It's really weird. But I noticed with especially Prodigy and Dreamscape, there are more games that have an element of reading to it, not an educational tool that has gamification. I feel like maybe they're trying to get some profit off of that as just using that kind of concept to their advantage. Unlike those products, our app aims for education first and then the gamification. So we do have anti-cheat measures as we mentioned. You can't go out of the app. Um, we have the quizzes the teachers can make and AI can make as well, and they're meant to be really like comprehensive of the book and not repetitive. So yeah, basically just trying to make it student cheat free as possible.
Yeah, and one more thing to add on to that. So you mentioned how if it gets too addictive, then it becomes a problem. We're hoping to kind of limit that by making it like daily quest based. So instead of like forcing them to read for 5 hours straight, it's more like read 10 minutes a day. So it keeps like a healthy habit rather than like addiction. And we won't reward them for too much work. We'd rather reward them on like streaks and keeping up like a good habit. But to be honest, it's probably not
too bad to get addicted to reading. So
Okay, cool, great. Okay, let's open it up to the public. There's a couple questions from the public. Excuse me. So, actually, before the question, you get a shout out from Not a Felon. The Jazzbugs is a fire name, Not a Felon says. Okay, so Zachary asks, so your app is like Duolingo. The app will send notifications to the user if students did not read? Oh, before you answer, Zachary also says, by the way, let's go, Aki and Matt. Okay, go ahead. The question was Duolingo.
yeah, so we're hoping we did get inspiration from Duolingo to some extent with like the streaks especially, and we're also hoping to just send friendly reminders, maybe not to the level that Duolingo does it, but just daily reminders. And we're sure that the teachers at school would already give them enough reminders of it anyways. So yeah.
Okay, awesome, great. Okay, thank you so much, Jazzbugs. Good luck to you, and we'll do the draw now for the this was the Minecraft spider.
Right.
Okay.